Welcome back to High Quality Conversation. I'm your host and stand up comedian and writer, Avion Smith. This week we have a lot of funny stuff to talk about, but first, we have OpenAI's first device. It's a screenless smart speaker with cameras and a built in personality to learn its user. Everything we've ever asked for a speaker, we want it to be screenless. We want it to have a personality to know what it should play for me, not what I want to play. And on top of that, you might as well throw this in with the flock cameras, because why the fuck does these speaker have cameras inside of it? They'll sell it to you like it's some great idea to capture random moments. Random moments of what? There's cameras everywhere. I have 14. The new iPhone 16 or whatever has 7 cameras in the front, each one for different things. Why do I need cameras in my speaker? That's not suspicious at all. I would say this is one of the greatest thoughts that Cuck Altman has had, because he wants to watch everything. AI, Flock, OpenAI, they want as much information as you as possible so they can start thinking for you. They want to watch you have sex so they can start fucking with for you too. Next up, there's going to be some OpenAI sex robot that can connect to your speaker, and that information is actually going to help out the robot download data and tell you actually how you want to fuck. That's OpenAI's screenless device speaker with built-in cameras that you'll never see. Whatever. And I'm tired of technology wanting to learn about its user. I feel like that's damn near a schizophrenic topic for me, cuz like you or excuse me, I feel like it can't learn something like me. I'll play I'll play some Nickelback, then some Pooh Shiesty, and then some house music. I don't know if OpenAI is capable of doing shit like that. I mean, obviously it is, but I'm just not with learning about its user. I don't want to be learned. It sounds like I'm on a horrible, horrible first date. Oh yeah, or probably like a second or third date where you find out this chick is fucking crazy, or maybe the dude's crazy. He hasn't said anything about himself or herself, and he's just asking like, bro, you want to talk about you a little bit? Oh, you want to learn me? It's like Joe. It's like Joe from You. Joe meets people so he can start learning about them. I don't need my open AI screenless smart speaker with cameras and a built-in personality to learn me. I need you to play fucking music and play it good. That's really all I need you to do. I don't need some weird thinking machine that can't even comprehend my own mind. I can't even comprehend it. What the fuck is OpenAI gonna do? And the way this speaker was described in the article was crazy, because aren't all speakers, aren't all hip cool speakers screenless? Like what does screen like why is that in the headline? I don't really know what that's all about. Screenless speakers. I would fucking hope. But then they get you with the cameras. No longer is OpenAI just building data centers in red states, pissing off all the people that voted for all this kind of stuff. They'll say they didn't, they did. But now OpenAI is bringing undercover speakers to America and drone warfare across. I just don't like anything they really do for the most part when it comes down to data centers and all the jokes about how much water is being used and energy being used in certain counties and people's bills going up, and they're like, this is we didn't vote for this. You voted for the dude who did it. Same shit. OpenAI drones, military applications getting billions on billions of dollars to do what? so we could blow people up on on IG Live and yell "World Star"? Do you know how many? I'm gonna be real. I played Call of Duty as a kid, and there was a drone mission. I'm almost positive there was a drone mission, and I never in my life thought when I was playing that mission that I would be able to see hundreds of those same things, but in real life. And even if I'm not saying it would have never happened. It could it's happening right now. I'm just saying it's crazy that you can go on TikTok, Instagram, all these places. I'm happy the information is out, but I read about this stuff and then I see it. I don't like open AI, their business at all. It's like, yeah, not only do we blow people up remotely, we're gonna play you music on a screenless personality built speaker with cameras in it that'll always be watching you. It freaks me out. It freaks me out in a way that I can't really persist on. Like it's not enough for me to necessarily bring it up at a dinner with friends. Unless someone else brings it up, talking about, I love AI. I mean, you could love Chat GPT too. That's completely fine. Uh, I just never saw a purpose for a lot of these things outside of helping someone on a minimal level. Like AI has been a thing for a very long time. Like if you told me, I heard an example once, or maybe it was me that gave this example on a previous podcast of let's say it's an understaffed hospital. It's the middle of the night and you have all these things going on, but you have AI applications that do help you monitor people. You still have to do your dailies, whatever it may be, but maybe it saves you an hour of your time so you can take more time with your individual patients, right? So you can spend another 5 minutes in each room making someone feel comfortable because they're talking to someone, they're talking to a nurse, they're talking to a doctor. This screenless smart speaker with a personality isn't going to make us forget about the data centers and all the drone warfare going on. It's a slippery slope if you ask me. I remember when, I mean, I don't remember, I'm not old as fuck, but I can recall times where people were talking about nuclear warfare. You know, we have it, they don't, but then all of a sudden everyone's going to have it. And then all of a sudden you have crazy ideas like Star Wars or what a laser fucking I forget what it's called, but there are these lasers built in satellites that were going to destroy all the nukes in the air, bro. Drones? Not nuclear weapons, of course. But if you're talking about the ability to attack someone without being there, bro, I would be remiss. I would be lying to you if I said when Iran mentioned, bro, we'll send these same shits all across the fucking sea. I know it makes you think, oh, that's impossible. Bro, who knows? Who knows what's possible? Who knows what's impossible? Hawaii's right there. I know for a bit, my dad and my family and I were talking about, because my dad's in the military, we were talking about drones going over the water, and he's like, bro, that'll never fucking happen. And then I made the joke, I was like, maybe in your lifetime. What if right when I retire, right when I'm able to buy that overpriced house that some old person bought for $50,000 and try selling it to me for 2 million, right when I get it, that'll blow up. Open AI, folks. Screenless, personality built drones that'll blow you the fuck up. Next topic. ICE kills two in Maine and Texas, both of them in their cars. Sources come out, say they're going to stop traffic stops. Trump comes right out and says, no, the fuck we're not. And this is really a staple in the Trump presidency. States, governments, they're going to say something, we're not going to do this anymore. Yo, we hear you guys, we're going to stop. And then the president, whether he's has the power to or not, is going to come out and say, no, this is actually what the fuck we're doing. We've even done that with different things with the Strait of Hormuz. We've done that with Iran currently. We've done it with Russia. We've done it with Ukraine. We've Whether it's for better or worse, Trump has literally come out and said, no, we're not doing that. And it's hilarious because every time I hear good news, I have to worry that Donald Trump is going to come in and say, you know what, we're actually not going to do that. We're actually going to bomb a bunch of civilian infrastructure. I know they said we're not going to, but I will. He comes from the top ropes, bro. I swear any sort of progress we have, well, actually, if we don't do this, we're gonna if you guys don't do this, we're gonna blow up your entire country. I know we said we're close, but I basically mean I'm close to blowing up your fucking country. That's that's the kind of back and forth we've been doing with the world the past like decade, with him at least, with his two terms. And he's even come out and said he's wanting a third term. He hopes he's the president next time too. I remember there used to be consequences for people wilding out like this. I'm not going to say what consequences, but there's a couple of times where presidents have done less and there were consequences. You get what I'm saying, bro? Unconstitutional, disrespecting us in our face, protecting pedophiles, letting ICE go out and kill people, kill citizens, not get anybody they think they're getting. These murderers and rapists, because all Mexicans are murderers and rapists. We're killing people in fucking cars. Crazy enough, one of the guys who did this, I want to say the guy from Texas, this dude's ex-wife comes out and says he's a racist, he's abusive. I left him for a reason. And he comes in and talks about, no, you got to defend me. That's not what happened. Whoop de whoop. We're not hearing none of that. In fact, the video shows the complete opposite, and your ex wife thinks the same. And it sounds like she's protecting her family. Now, her family. That's not your family, bro. You kill an innocent person, you don't have any family anymore, bro. Your family is the other people in prison who killed people and found out what you did and how you got to prison, and then they take care of that ass. They're not going to kill you, they're just going to rape you. That's that's the kind of shit that I'm on. That's the kind of shit that I'm on. Um but yeah, Trump insists if we stop traffic stops, we'll be playing into the criminals' minds. That's his quote. Playing into the criminals' minds, because every single immigrant, like I said earlier, is a murder that's attacking the integrity of white America. That's what we're trying to tell you, folks. We'll be playing into the criminals' minds. The same people with these views are the ones killing over a dozen people during the mass deportation process. 18 different traffic stop shootings during this small stint of this ultra crackdown over the past few months. I feel like doing these traffic stops are playing into the criminals' minds in a sense that ICE is becoming the criminals, and the allegations, or not even allegations, the sayings of this is the biggest gang in the world, the US government at times even, but police, ICE, they're the biggest gang in America. Are we wrong? And what's crazy is there was another murder. I know this guy had a knife, but recently there was another murder where he was being handcuffed. They tased him and shot him twice and killed him. Everybody saw it. No body cam on that guy, no body cam on these other ICE people, but they said that body cams were sent across the country. Like they said, no, body cams are being sent across the country as we speak. We're 20 dead people too late. We're more than 20 if we're talking about outside of ICE even too. They're being sent now? Okay. That's like, honestly, that I don't really even have a funny example off the top of my head, cuz I was just about to say that that's like shootings. That's nah, bro. I don't even have a good example to be honest. But this is just a little too late. It's just weird to do something after and be like, oh, okay, we're gonna have the precautions. 20 people died. I got it. That's like a staircase with no railing. Like, you know that staircase in Russia? I want to say it was in Europe, and a girl fell walking home with her friend. She was just recording a video, walking backwards, having a great time. She falls, and then they put the railing. That's how I feel about this. Shouldn't there have been a railing there before? Shouldn't there have been body cams there before? Because a body cam that needs to be, and it's funny because they turn these shits off anyways, but body cam footage and a camera being on at all times is one of the greatest tools people can have for their own safety. Because I've always said, if you're a cop or an ICE agent and that fucking camera turns off because of you, you're guilty. You're guilty. You're beyond guilty. I'll put you under the prison thinking turning off a camera was gonna help you. I if I was a lawyer, I'd be like, so why did you turn off your camera? Because the rule is you don't turn off your camera. That's kind of it. So why did you break that rule knowing that if you turn off your camera, you will be deemed guilty? That's how I've always felt about these body cams. Detainees in an ICE facility in Texas report frequent beatings and other human rights violations. Those are the people that are in criminals' hands. I want you to understand that. These people are rapists, these people are murderers, these people might not be legal immigrants, but we're talking about people that have contributed to our society for the past 15 to 20 years, and we're beating the shit out of them systematically. Yeah, bruh. Yeah, racism is alive and well and thriving. I saw on the Daily Show the other day. Leslie Jones actually had a great bit about 3 days ago. They were interviewing a grand wizard of the Ku Klux Klan, and he's talking about I have black friends, and her bit was, bro, if you're in the Ku Klux Klan did not do a good job interviewing you, because shouldn't that be your first question? Bro, we live in a fucking weird ass society where racism is alive and well, but also the same people doing these things are trying their best to act like they're not. And it's almost at the point where, bro, I'd rather you just be straight up, because I'm not hearing that these illegal immigrants are rapists, murderers, criminals, all these other things. First of all, you're talking about family here, okay? Quarter Mexican, quarter Mexican. And on top of that too, you're just going to keep saying this isn't about race, this isn't about this. We're just trying to keep the streets safe. Let's be real here, bro. Didn't a white dude just break into his ex while they're in the process of getting divorced? This happened like 2 days ago. Didn't she just get her house broken into, murder suicide? Come on, bro. I remember that story of the 49er fan whose family was telling him to turn down the TV and stop yelling, and he killed his 3 kids, wife, and himself. Is that not? These are the people that are saying we're hurting the identity of America. You're what you mean is you're hurting the identity of white America. That's what you think. America's been at the forefront of diversity for a long time now. And it really sucks that with this regime, this is what we have to literally like we have to sit down and just watch. It's the worst cuck of all. We're the worst cucks of all time. Like we just have to sit here and watch our nation get fucked with like this and just hope there's not another term. Because this guy's trying to say he's going to go for another term. Bro. Bro, I'll freak the fuck out. I will freak the fuck out if somehow, some way we get played in our face. But luckily, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think the Democratic Party has a shoe-in to win. If the Democrats don't win this one, if we don't win this one, let's just not talk about it, bro. Next topic. Argentinian pilot jumps out of the plane and just to leave the student to land it. Let's get the easy ones out the way. Depression is real. This person was going through something, obviously. No one else died except him. She landed the plane. If she didn't land the plane, I wouldn't have anything to say about this. I wouldn't even be talking about it right now. You guys would just hear about it. Sad story. This motherfucker jumped out and said, because he's selfish for this, bro. I don't really care. He jumped out and said, you know what to do. Carry on. What? She was so in shock that she thought it was some kind of joke. Not joke, but some kind of part of the training. Like, holy fuck, am I actually supposed to know how to land a plane right now? Is this supposed to be some crazy idea, a crazy idea of teaching someone to be under stressful situations? She was praying he had a parachute, but all he had for her was, good luck, you got this. Bro, what? This literally seems like a scene out of, like, It's Always Sunny. Like, I feel like Dee would be taking flight school classes, and this would happen to her teacher, and she would end up landing the plane perfectly. Like, everyone would be shocked that she actually landed the plane. But you know what to do. What? Like, you couldn't have rented out a plane and just crashed it yourself? Like, what? Remember that one dude who flew a commercial who stole a commercial plane and did a barrel roll in it? Much cooler. This dude putting other people's lives at risk? That's selfish. And I don't really feel much towards the dude. Like, could you imagine if you were, it's crazy because it's an airplane, but I don't know many worse situations to be in where someone could jump out and say, good luck. I literally don't know a worse scenario to put someone in. And the next person who has this job, or let's say this woman takes this situation and becomes a teacher herself, and then she's teaching a student, telling this story. She doesn't, don't worry, I'm not going to do that to you. But she's telling her, like, yo, yeah, when I was in flight school, this fucking guy jumped the fuck out, and I had to land the plane myself. You won't have to go through that. I'll be here for you. When I jump out, it'll be when we're not moving on the ground. But good, you know what to do, jump out? Bro, go fuck yourself. No, I have trouble feeling much remorse for that guy because it almost seems like he was trying to be funny. You know what to do. Carry on. Jump out. Who the fuck is this guy? Next topic. The US attacks on Iran continue, but no one's surprised, right? You better make a deal or you're not going to have anything left. That's what our government, that's what Donald Trump, his office, is saying to Iran. It's an insane way to say, I'll kill every single last one of you. Because that's what's going on. Or excuse me. That's what we as a country, that's what our military would have to do for this war to stop. I'm seeing people finally start picking up on the fact that this feels like a forever war. It's insane to me to brush over the idea that America is going to go into other people's countries again, make threats like this again. It's almost like we've done this before. Wait, to win the war, you're willing to kill everybody? Sounds like Vietnam, no? Sounds like we're going to go into another people's place and arguably commit war crimes and brush it off like it was nothing and get mad at other people for not supporting it, like Spain. We got mad at Spain for not supporting us dropping people off or like our military using their bases or whatever. Now, Iran has targeted bases in Kuwait, Bahrain, and Jordan. Three places my father has had the pleasure of being through his military service, and by pleasure, I mean deployed. I've heard of these exact conflicts since I was a kid, and it gives you the sort of insight as to why Spain said no. It's been going on for years, and nobody wants to be involved with us right now. If they didn't want to be involved with us back then, what makes you think they want to be involved with us in this war now? It beyond me. And of course, Trump's response to that was basically a huge fuck you. We're going to tax you, trade embargoes, blah, blah, blah. I can't wait for this dude to die. And I bet there's been rumors about him like collapsing, all this shit. Maybe he's going senile in the fucking head for him to even think he'll get a third term. But hell is going to get one of the biggest demons, bro. He's gonna be up there with King. He's gonna be up there with King Von. He's gonna be up there with Hitler, King Von, Trump, and anybody who is a part of owning a run club. Those people are all going to hell, by the way. Those are basically the rules. It's weird too because it kind of feels like a Game of Thrones, except Trump doesn't have a dragon. He's like the Mad King. I'm gonna be honest. He's a rapist. He wants to kill everyone. He wants to burn anyone. He doesn't want to die. He doesn't want to risk his life for anything. Jealous of people. He's racist. Thank God he doesn't have a fucking dragon. I mean, I guess a nuclear bomb is kind of a dragon, but in that case, a lot of people have dragons. But it's insane to me that this is literally all a ploy about money, trade, and personal interest. His personal interest with Israel, his personal interest with his family, Don Jr. Turns out he's this amazing businessman. He's gotten $1.6 billion in contracts and in government contracts from the US, bro. Putting money in his own pockets when we're cucking it. We just got to sit here and take it, bro. Huh. We're getting fucked, y'all. Because more than 50% of you guys voted for this thinking it would help you in any way. And now your businesses are now your businesses are no longer right. Your farms are no longer. Your kids aren't going to fucking college. Not that that was ever a thought in your dumbass mind. None of these things are. Prices are going. Housing is, you're getting fucked on housing because there's going to be housing crisis. No one's paying that shit. You have all these same values that you've had for the past 50 years, and you thought Donald Trump was going to save you? You stupid fuck. I digress. It's hard for me to really get on the American people because am I surprised that 55% of people were dumb enough to vote for him? No, but also 55% of people who voted for him basically voted for values. They didn't vote. Of course, it helped that he said there was going to be no wars, another lie. But there's no way in hell they voted for him because of his international policies. You get me? They voted for him because they thought it would lower gas prices. They thought it would lower grocery prices. They thought, I don't know, maybe they thought going to college for their kids wouldn't be so important and they could just work a farm. I know people have to do that. I'm really not trying to shit on you. But when you lose a bunch of your workers who were illegal immigrants and you're saying you can't find anybody better, they've been working this farm for over 20 years. You guys are the people that called these people on them because you wanted this small ass reward. And now you're asking your kids to work a fucking farm with their hands. Something you haven't done since you were 12. And they're adults. Brother, I got horrible news for you. You're going to end up in a fucking home because you ruined everything, all because 55% of people voted for this. It's pretty funny. And let's talk about another group of people that voted for him. Actually, I didn't even have this on topic on hand. Um, I've been seeing a bunch of. I could talk about young Christians forever. I'm not talking about the older Christian crowd, the older Christian MAGA crowd. I'm talking about the young Christian MAGA crowd that are on the internet talking about how ostracized Christianity is, how everyone and their mom talks about every brutal fucking killing in history except when it involves Christians, which also isn't true, by the way. You're a fucking idiot. But they're online talking as if being a Christian is, I don't know, means anything negatively to them. They're making videos like, oh, me, because they're gonna make the Bible illegal again, and they're like turning off all the lights with putting on a candle and reading in the dark. And then what they do is they post videos like that, and then they'll post videos like, oh, when they make Christianity illegal and I get arrested, and it's just them standing like this. Bro, first of all, none of you have been arrested. Okay? None of you are cool enough to be arrested. The only time you young Christians are gonna get arrested is for domestic fucking violence, bro. Drunk driving. That's the only shit you guys hate speech. Like those are the only things you guys could ever be arrested for. You guys aren't ever going to be arrested for being a fucking Christian. You guys should be arrested for being fucking lame. The lamest people in the world. It's insane how lame you are. Me, because Christianity is so scrutinized that I can't even talk about it in public. They'll make all these videos and then make 5 videos about the hate they've been receiving online, and comparing it to the same hate that these fictional characters from their little book came up with. And it's funny because I grew up Christian. I grew up reading the Bible. I've read the Bible. In fact, I've read a lot of different scripture just to come to the conclusion that I'm a spiritual dude. But no, Christianity is one of the lamest government made, you're a follower with no fucking thought process ass religions. I'm going to be so real with you. I've I've looked into I've looked into so many different angles about you, and it's the young crowd that's ruining it, right? It's easy to see how, like, let's say in the middle of Mississippi you have an like they do accept literally, and it's funny how the older Christian crowd is willing to accept anybody, even though they do have some really fucking regrettable feelings towards certain groups, right? These young Christians are bold as fuck, bro. Bold as shit. Openly racist, openly sexist, openly, as long as Jesus is king and Jesus is the only one judging them, bro, they'll do whatever the fuck. It's crazy to me. Then they'll make videos like, you guys are only making my beliefs stronger. You guys really thought you could get in between me and God? I think I think you're in between you and a normal fucking thought process. I think you're the one getting in between any sort of shit you got going on. Cuz I'm at the point where I see a cross in someone's bio, I could never fucking talk to you. And that has nothing to do with me not being able to respect religion. It's just, if in this day and age, it's not the same MAGA and that Christian, it's not the same thing, but are they related? Oh yeah. Being MAGA and having a cross in your bio in this day and age, if you're a young MAGA's for anybody, but if you're one of those like young Christian types with a cross in your bio, I'm considering you racist. That's it. That's it. Notice how I said young, because you guys are old. You guys haven't been through anything. You guys haven't even left your fucking hometown, whether it be it doesn't matter if you're in the middle of nowhere or California. Bro, young Christians in California are the worst. Talk about pedophiles. Bro, one of the big Bro, every single time there's like 4 or 5 different instances in Southern California from LA down that I have seen these young Christian groups being led by motherfuckers that have no business leading a prayer, bro. Have no business leading a congregation, have no business speaking the word, brother. Call me crazy. Like that 22-year-old who fucking hates gay people and Mexicans and copies scriptures from the past. You guys eat his little blonde ass up, bro. Y'all be like, wow, that God is literally speaking through this kid. He must have been speaking through the last 3 people who said this the same exact thing that stole it from a pastor from the 60s. Like, this is what I'm those are the people that I grew up with on the Christian side. I've seen it all, heard it all, read it all. How are you going to judge something if you don't even know what it is? I feel the same way about music. I don't love a lot of the Lil Yachty music, but for me to hate on it, I'm gonna have to listen to his album. And turns out he surprises me sometimes. There's like 2 or 3 that I like. The rest of them are complete dog shit. I feel the same way about young Christians. Out of every 20, there's about 3 of them that are completely normal that I'm like, oh, holy shit. I that cross in her bio didn't mean she was a raging racist, huh? That's weird. That's my bad. Then the other 17 of you are fucking trash. Let's get to a funny topic too. Dick and balls. Pete Hegseth now doing mandatory testosterone. Good for him. All active duty and reserve members over 30 will undergo mandatory screening for testosterone deficiency. It's up to us to make sure our soldiers' balls are producing enough test to bomb children in Iran. You understand that, son? If our balls aren't dripping with test, how the fuck are we supposed to commit war crimes and give our money to Israel? Get your balls tested. That's all I'm hearing. It's up to us. And if you're having problems, real problems, of course it helps. But the funniest part about this is you could have already did this if you had problems. The military, how do I say? They have fucking medical insurance through the military. They have hospitals. They have all these things. And in fact, they are pretty open to helping a number of people. Doesn't mean they're always going to do it the best way. I've known people to have some pretty botched surgeries with military doctors. I've known some people to have some pretty bad scenarios with prescriptions with doctors. But at the same time, are they willing to help you? Yes. Are they willing to get your balls all swole with test? Yes, bro. So the fact that they're going out of their way to want to squeeze dick and balls is hilarious. So yeah, if you're having problems, sure. But describing it as establishing a comprehensive baseline and offer testosterone therapy to sustain a dominant fighting force is hilarious. They are crazy. They are obsessed with the manosphere, dick size, making up for everything they're not, bro. The whole thing is crazy. And it kind of proves the point that this is about just who has the biggest balls. I don't know when they word it as a dominant warrior, a dominant fighting warrior force, that's how you know we've lost the plot and this isn't really to help anybody and this is really just to push their manosphere women don't belong in the military agenda. Why do I think that? When asked if both male and female troops will be tested and be able to get for forms of therapy, like premenopause, the Pentagon and Hegseth had no further comment. They said, no, I'm not even going to talk about that. This is a dick and balls conversation. It's crazy that a bunch of pussies are worried about, are so worried about women in the service. It's crazy. And I know some of these guys have served. They all served like 4 years. One of them in the National Guard and the other one as a fucking writer, bro. Both of these guys are pussies. Both of these guys aren't the military men who we were raised by. And by we, you know, I know not everyone comes from a military family, but a lot of our grandparents were amazing active service members who went to war, some of them not by choice, but they still stood their watch. Still stood their watch. That's what you have to do. But we got Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth, testosterone obsessed manosphere pussy. JD Vance, hate Mexicans and protects rapists, pussy. And Donald Trump, I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. We come on, bro. But on top of that, he's a pussy. So I think it's funny how obsessed we are with making sure men have the biggest balls, calling them warriors, calling them all this fuck. We need a strong warrior class. And then the moment you ask about women, that's what makes us know this wasn't to help anybody. You're doing it to push an agenda. And that agenda is going to be soon out, bro. You're getting pressed by Congress left and right about how many service members have died under your decisions. How many people have died under ICE under your decisions. And how many people, or excuse me, and how much money we've spent. And you've lied in front of a congressional jury every single time and then claimed you just didn't know. Then how did they know? How did they know? Okay. To funny news. The Louvre, I'm not French, and I know you fuckers hate it whenever we try, so I'm just going to say Louvre Museum in Paris, France, reopens after thieves steal the crown jewels. Now, the crown that they recovered will no longer be displayed there because they're going to move it to a more secure location. A more secure location to be observed properly. And why the hell wasn't it there in the first place? What? There's actually a more secure place where all of these things that are worth hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars could have been with higher security. But we just thought the Louvre was an honorable place because no one, we didn't think anyone would think to steal this. In Paris, France, the creator of Pink Panther, the Pink Panther is a Frenchman. What are we talking about? If there's anything expensive in Paris, France, I automatically think, and that's on display, I automatically think there is a 10% chance a Pink Panther heist is going to happen. Think about dude, every year there's multiple. I covered one in the past with these paintings. There was one with the motorcycles that stole millions of jewelry from a jewelry store. People were talking about how impressive the entire thing was. Come on, bro. If you're in Paris, you have to know there is a chance. If you need to put it in a more secure place, you probably should, because there's hundreds of Pink Panther-esque thieves just around town in here. Born and bred. That's like going to America and being surprised there's good basketball players. We do this shit. You know what I'm saying? We do this shit. And then over there, you're surprised that all these amazing things get stolen each year? Bro, y'all do this shit. Y'all do this shit, bro. My whole life, all I've known is y'all are solid as fuck at soccer, solid as fuck at high level robberies, and apparently hate it when we speak French. I don't know. I don't know if y'all just have like an aptitude to being bitchy about that, but before you get mad at us for trying to speak French, I hope you understand this. You just got your shit took, bitch. They just walked in your trap and took over your trap. And the only reason you got the crown back is cuz bro dropped it. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. I say Je m'appelle Avion, that means hello, I'm Avion, or whatever the fuck. And y'all look at me with disgust. Ah, I thought some of you were pretty cute. Sorry, I'll just say I'm Avion. You American. You American scum. Sorry, I'll stop. Florida pastor sues OpenAI, claiming ChatGPT gave him dangerous medical advice. Dangerous medical advice. I mean, yeah. There's just so much funny about this. Even the first two words, Florida pastor, Florida pastor, leave it to Florida to leave it to a Florida pastor to blame AI for his own stupidity. And I'm already thinking to myself, is this one of those guys that thinks like God is going to heal everything in him and he's asking ChatGPT of all things if that's true? Not necessarily. ChatGPT told him his symptoms were nothing serious, but God did not design his body, to endlessly fail. Later hospitalized with a life-threatening pulmonary embolism, which, if I'm not mistaken, is fancy word for clogged artery, lung artery. I've watched that show ER before. Now, I know we talk about the dangers of ChatGPT in a number of different capacities, but stupid people relying on it is a major problem, and I think should be one of the first conversations outside of data centers, bombing kids with drones, all that other stuff. It's our own citizens using it because that same 55% of America that I told you that voted for Donald Trump, a lot of them might be using this too, unfortunately, right? A lot of them are using ChatGPT for things that have no business. You need to go to a doctor. People are losing their jobs over ChatGPT. People are dying over ChatGPT, all because they're using it as an application in a way it shouldn't. Like asking it if I should go to the hospital or not. What? Now, who's liable? I would say the stupid fucks who believed an AI application could work as a doctor are liable. I would say the Father Florida is prayers to you. Please send prayers to him. Says life threatening. He didn't say he died. Prayers to him and his family, right? I also pray for all the people that use ChatGPT outside of regular, everyday applications like making lists, asking general questions. How can I word this properly? Is there any mistakes here? That kind of stuff. We even use in hospitals, it's you, sure. But I would say using it as doctor's advice is up there with using it to blow up civilian infrastructure in Iran. Those two things are pretty bad to me, right? Cool. We all agree? Cool. Back to the manosphere for our final topic today. Men Only Gyms, seeks to eradicate all problems the strong Christian men face in gym society today. Now, the Remnant Gym owner out of Denver, Colorado, they're actually building one in Denver. There's already one in Oklahoma City. These two cities make so much sense. It's a little manosphere pockets, right? You might not think about it because Denver, in a general sense, isn't like that red pilled, but I describe it the same way as I do California. Major cities aren't red pilled just because the populace is so large, but when you start getting in between the cracks of a lot of these places, it's a lot more conservative than you think, and it's a lot more weird than you think. Denver, Colorado, and Oklahoma City are two places that are like that. Populated, but in between the cracks, pretty fucking weird sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But the Remnant Gym owners, they want white conservative Christian men to rise up against the biggest evils in America, women. Of course, bro. It always comes down to the same things with you guys. And women is always one of the major factors as to what makes your guys' lives so horrible. The way women act, the way women dress, the way apparently going to the gym, they can't even go to the gym anymore. They can't even go to the gym anymore. You guys, the whole manosphere thing talk about in shape. They hate fat bitches. Manosphere hates them some fat bitches. Okay? Me, I just hate I just hate it when a fat loud bitch is in my ear cursing me out. That's the only time I really get that's the only time I start getting that itch. But it's always women with these fuckers, bro. They claim that lust at the gym is one of the biggest problems for men, so instead of working on discipline or not being a creep, they just banned them. They banned all women. They're gonna charge you a shit ton, right? Seeing women at the gym makes you want to cheat, and if you can't cheat, you're gonna watch porn because that's what they that the way they dress at the gym, it just is so lustful and wrong. It's so lustful and wrong. It makes me want to cheat on my wife. And that's what's funny too. Who the fuck says any of these women want to talk to any of you? It just the whole thing starts expanding into a weirder thing. They have no they have no place showing their nakedness, Mitch Parsons claims, one of the owners. So what did God do? Another one of their owner asked. He took what the devil meant for evil, turned it into good, put it on my heart to start, and I put it in my heart to start a men's fitness ministry center where there are no distractions. No distractions from God. No distractions from women. No distractions from those illegal bitch ass immigrants. Just white men doing their what just white straight men working out and sharpening dicks together. Sorry, sharpening iron, because that is one of their reasoning. They said iron sharpens iron. Well, if what you mean is white, straight Christian iron, I guess. And I guess if you guys want to rub that all on each other, this wouldn't be the first time gay people were found in the church doing gay shit. No hate on my gay people. I'm LG man. Look at my cup holder. Look at my cup holder. Look at my cup holder. Come on, bro. Or not my cup holder, my pen holder. But all I'm saying is if you wanna make that kind of environment, just know this. There's gonna be a bunch of dudes giving hand jobs in the fucking steam room. Do you know how many hand jobs are gonna be given in that steam room? Talking about white, straight Christian man church that's charging a shit ton. They also have two tiers. They have the $150 a month tier, and then they have the I hate my wife tier, which is tier 2. It's $300 a month and includes, like I said, steam room hand jobs and also golf simulator. So you could work out, go to their little prayer sessions, and then go get a blowjob with your best friend, go blow each other at the golf simulator. I'm not lying to you. If any women in Oklahoma City or Denver, Colorado is dating someone or is married to someone, God forbid married to someone who is, but is dating someone, going to this one of these gyms in Oklahoma City or Denver, Colorado, done. You need you need to you need to break up with him, move out, pack your shit when he's not home cuz bringing it back here, this screams domestic violence. Do you have to have a domestic violence charge to get into this gym too? Like to get in, you have to say you have to drop a hard R before so they know you're serious, bro. I don't know, bro. This just seems like one of those situations that's goes on the list of things that are gayer than being gay. You're avoiding women. You don't let anyone who's LGBTQ at all, or just you don't let anyone who's not white. You don't let anyone in who's not Christian. These lists, bro. Yeah, man. And I live in New York City. I go out to a bunch of different environments. I go to drag shows. I've been to gay bars just because I mean, you go where your friends are comfortable and who doesn't like a compliment and nice drinks? I have seen so many things that are in the LGBTQ range. This is gayer. Going to one of these gyms and paying money to go here is gayer than fucking a dude, in my mind. And that's how we'll wrap up this show. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry for being so distant. I've been a little depressed and sad, actually, to be quite honest. But I'm thinking we're gonna make another run, and this is gonna be the run. I'm hoping you guys can see me maybe get a writing job soon. Hopefully, I can get a part of one of these sketch teams in New York. Maybe I'll get noticed. Maybe someone will think I'm handsome and funny, and maybe maybe my crush Desi Liddick will put in a word for me at the Daily Show. But if anyone that listens to this is, put in a word for me. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys next week. And as always, stay high and have a quality conversation. Bye, y'all.